Panther Nation, we're back again with the show that connects our audience with TIS Athletics. And we're glad to be back here today, Coach. It's always a pleasure having you here with me as we do this for our fans, Panther Nation, and giving everybody all the great information about TIS Athletics. It's been a good week in athletics.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Basketball season's in full gear. Our teams are 3-0 right now, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later in the show. But I'm excited about the start of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I am too. Like you said, both teams undefeated right now, and speaking from the girls' side, not playing our best ball, not playing nearly where we want to be here towards the end of the season, but finding ways to win, which is ultimately the most important thing. So when we talk to the girls, we'll clean up all the mistakes and we'll get the chemistry and everything. We'll get where we need it to be, but finding ways to win, whether it's good or ugly wins, we'll take the win.
Wins matter. And like you said, the chemistry, Coach, it takes a little time to build that chemistry, when you have new players in and you have existing players that have been here coming back and getting that all the most. So I know it's quite the challenge.
Absolutely.
But I know you're the guy for it. So this week in athletics, we do our shout outs, and usually it's a team shout out.
Right.
But I want to shout out a certain individual today who's been on the show a couple times. Multiple times. With Scholars Bowl and cross country. But Eli Azier.
My guy.
I mean, you talk about a student that is dedicated and committed to the school.
Yeah, for sure.
Well-rounded. Is a prime example of the TIS vision.
Homecoming king as well.
Homecoming king, that's right, Coach. He's an excellent student. He participates in activities in Scholars Bowl, and he's an athlete.
Sure.
So all three pillars of the vision, academics, activities, athletics, he displays excellence in every one of them. And we want to talk a little bit about his project, the Eli Project. Coach, he came to me last year and he said, over the summer and in my spare time, I've been going back through the records of TIS Athletics and noticing there's a lot of things missing on our record boards. And most recently our sub-state championships, boys and girls, and some other things, CPL championships for the boys. And he was like, I really want to update our record boards in the gym to make them current.
The walls are empty, and they shouldn't have been as empty.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he took it upon himself to go and research. I mean, he found trophies in different places that hadn't been hung up, that he put up in the hallways. And he has the ultimate school pride.
Yeah, for sure.
So when he came to me and he said, I want to update our boards. I want to make sure all of our athletics and activities are current. I mean, I just couldn't say no.
Yeah.
I couldn't say no. And so Eli, shared his spreadsheet with me. I mean, he did a whole project.
Everything was accurate. If you look at it, everything was extremely accurate in what he did.
Yeah, and he brought it to me, and then we went from there. And we started working with our sign company and working with him to make sure everything was accurate. And on the first home game against Kiowa County, we recognized him at halftime.
Yeah, well deserved.
Well deserved, and now we can look up there and even alumni who come back who may have been here before and be like, well, where's my year up there?
Right.
They can't say that anymore because of Eli.
Yeah.
His efforts in making sure that our activities and our athletics and the excellence of those activities and athletics are now on full display.
Yeah. And again, just a salute to Eli, man. You think about taking your summertime, and I know Eli does cross country, so he's doing his summer training for cross country. And then again, taking away from his free time, doing to whatever he wants to do in the summer to help us and help this school ultimately. It wasn't just about him, it wasn't just about his sport in general. He went and found out information that we needed for all the athletics and activities. So just a huge shout out to Eli.
And huge shout out. And again to our alumni, and when you come back and you come to our basketball games and our activities in the gym, you can look up there at the record boards and you will see your year up there represented. So Eli, we love you, man. We appreciate you. And thank you for all of your efforts in making our records known, updated, and recognized. So, Coach, let's talk a little bit about the Marion Classic Invitational Tournament. That's where our boys and girls have been playing this week, doing really well. Like you said, the girls getting off to some slow starts in the games, but finding ways to push through and get the victory. So let's talk a little bit about it. What are you seeing from your team, and now their third game of the season, and moving into both teams now going into the championship game tomorrow against Berean Academy? So what are you thinking about as you get ready for this game?
Well, as far as the team, I see just a very well-rounded team, not really lacking in many categories. Like I said, as that chemistry picks up, as our conditioning gets better, and just cleaning up on the little mistakes of things and how we expect things to be ran. I think the sky's the limit for these girls. I really do, man. And I think they really want to be bought in. Like you said, it just takes time, and I got to be patient with them as a coach, understanding that it's going to take time. But we're excited to play Berean. That was our first loss last year. And heading into the state tournament, we kind of had them highlighted and was looking forward to possibly, rematching with them. And we came up short of that. So we're excited for this. For me, I look at it as a rematch, but both rosters are so much different. The game is going to be a lot different than last year's, I feel. Berean lost a huge chunk of their group last year, their core. We gained some pieces, but they're just so well coached. Their culture and how they run things, it's just spot on. They have a lot of what we're trying to gain.
Sure.
You talk about their style of play and their chemistry and how everything is ran almost to perfection. So I'm excited for the matchup. You got to tell them a really talented athletic team going against a team that's just really disciplined, really well coached. But I like our girls' chances. We watched film on them, got a good feel for them. So I'm excited to see how we go out and compete and, try to come home with the first place.
Yeah, and, I'm liking what I'm seeing from our girls too. You think about Dina Holmes, right? Last year as a freshman, she would have done fouled out of every game up to this point.
Absolutely.
And she's long, she likes to block shots, but last year she would try to knock the ball out the gym.
Every time.
And she would get fouls.
Yeah.
But what I'm most impressed with her, Coach, this year is her ability to do what we've been teaching her and trying to get her to do all the time, is just be long and use your length and make people shoot over you. And sometimes the ball, when she sticks her hands in there, just sticking in her hand.
Right, it's right to her hand.
And I think the game against Homeschool, I don't even think she had a foul in the whole game. And when you can have an impact player like Dina, who can get in there and rebound and be a presence inside and stay out of foul trouble, is a huge, huge advantage for our team.
Absolutely.
And so I'm just so happy and glad to see her progression.
Yeah, for sure.
And she's knocking down free throws.
Yeah.
Coach, last year she almost broke the backboard.
Yeah.
Nerves. Free throw.
It was nerves. And that was one thing. That was one of the biggest reasons we wanted to match back up with Berean last year, was because solely of her maturity from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. And we talked to her going into this season. We can't revert back.
Right.
We don't want to start over. We want her to pick up right where she left off last season. And I seen the growth and the maturity of her coming back from summer ball. Just the way she moves is a lot more mature. The way she handles herself, her demeanor. She always been a vocal leader for us. So now to see her be more of a on the court leader, and lead with her style of play and her demeanor on the court, it's huge for us. So again, excited for her. You know, like I said, we talked to her. We want to take her out when we want to, not when we have to.
Sure.
So we're just excited to continue to see her grow.
Yeah, and then you got Steffi, who is a super impact player when she's locked in, ready to play, and I mean she's one of the best passers I've seen.
Yeah, I would agree.
You know, male or female.
Absolutely.
I mean, she has vision like none other.
Yeah.
And if you're open and she's in the lane and driving, she will find
Have
you.
your hands ready.
You know, and then you got Zoe, you know, who's already on the radar in a lot of places. One of the most humble young ladies, you know, I've met. I love her family, who's there supporting us all the time. But she's having a great start to the season. And then, you know, you got Kieja Allen, who I know plays some big minutes in Halstead on defense.
He was huge for us.
And then, you know, you got Quincy out there who's knocking shots down. Sylvia will hit the shots every once in a while, but she's getting in a rhythm. But, you know, the depth that our team has, and you talked about this, it's on display.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
And that's awesome. And so tomorrow, Saturday, we match up with Berean Academy, who's also 3-0 on the season, and is ranked number 8 in the latest Kansas Basketball Coaches Association poll. They have us 6, and they have them 8.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great game, good atmosphere, and we look forward to pulling that out on Saturday.
Absolutely. Like I said, I think we stay disciplined. And, you know, we come out with high energy, high intensity. I love our chances to come out with first place.
Sure. And then on the boys' side, you know, getting to watch them a little bit and seeing our young fellas impact the game as freshmen.
Right.
I mean, you know, the first couple games, Sariah Dennis knocking it down from the corner, playing big for us. And even some of the other, you know, players were like in the last game, he didn't score a lot of points.
Right.
But his defense and his presence and his leadership helps us win.
Yeah, he's always going to impact the game. And, you know, one of the things I'm very excited about is the young guys' ability to play to the speed that Coach Kime likes his teams to play with.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like they're catching on to that really quick. And, you know, that was one of the things I had questions on. I knew those guys are very talented. I knew they were very experienced. But the pace that Coach Kime likes his teams to play with, you would think takes a lot more time, but you know, he does really good with his conditioning with those guys and making sure his preparation is there. So, you know, I say I'm surprised, but Coach Kime's a great coach, so you know, there's no reason you should be surprised that those guys are picking up that pace that quick this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, when you see freshmen out there and they are impacting varsity games early on, you know, when we played Wichita Homeschool the other day, we had 2 freshmen that led our team.
Yeah.
Jalen Phillips Gray had 23, Luke Henderson 21, amongst multiple rebounds, assists from those 2. And then you had Oliver Selman, who went out there in the first half and hit a quick 11, you know. And so seeing these young fellas who we know, like you said, are super talented, but then going out and getting it done is just been a sight to see and amazing to watch.
It's exciting. It's fun to watch.
Yep. And then, you know, Kingston, who transferred over here this year, is an impact player. I think he's buying in the defense.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, he's hungry and wants to guard the other team's best player. And then, you know, against Wichita Homeschool, like, Oliver hit 11 in the first half. He didn't score in the second half. Kingston didn't score in the first half, but hit his in the second half. And it was fun as a parent, you know, sitting up in the stands watching my boys, you know, having some success, but having fun. is fun to watch as a parent.
And it's crazy how time flies by. Because you think back, I was Kingston's coach over at North High his freshman year.
Yeah.
And he wanted no parts of the team's best player defensively. So just to see that growth and that maturity for him as now he's a senior, I love that for him. I've talked enough stuff to him that I can obviously give him his flowers when deserved. So I'm super proud of him, proud of all those boys. And like I said, it's just fun and exciting to watch them get out and play with that fast pace. That's something we want to lean towards on the girls' side too. It's gonna take us a little more time, but we'll get there.
Yeah, and so Berean Academy boys, we're playing the championship game tomorrow. Girls play at 5 at the Marion Sports Aquatic Center in Marion, Kansas. Boys play at 6:30. Both teams playing Berean Academy. Their boys are 2-1. Our boys are 3-0. I don't know much about their boys team, but I did see them. They look long.
Yeah, they got some size over there.
They got size. They're athletic, and I'm sure they're disciplined as well.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think the Berean boys and girls coaching staff have both been there for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the system that they're playing in is not new to them. So again, the chemistry, the camaraderie from those teams are going to be really high.
Mm-hmm.
So we just got to go out and we got to stay together, both boys and girls side of TIS, and go out and just put that speed and that pace to them, and hopefully try to get them out of what they're used to doing, because they're a very slow paced, disciplined team. So we got to go in and try to speed them up and get them out of their comfort zone.
Very good. Well, tomorrow night, 5 p.m. for the girls, Panther Nation, 6:30 for the boys. We need you to get on the road, travel up to Marion with us, and be there to support our boys and girls as the boys look to repeat as the Marion Classic champions, and the girls look to jump from 3rd place last year, right, Coach, to champions this year. So it should be an amazing night of basketball, Panther Nation, and we look forward to seeing you in Marion tomorrow. Coach, we're back at it. Again, my favorite segment of the show. Got a group of kids that is near and dear to my heart. It's going to be a fun time with these guys on here today. I know you know them very well.
Absolutely.
I absolutely know them very well. And all of them have had good moments, but represent our boys and girls basketball team. So who are we bringing on today, Coach, or who's getting the call?
Hello?
Gonna be a fun episode, Coach. We touched on them a little bit earlier in the show, but without further ado, we'll be calling the Selman kids.
The Selman kids is coming on the show.
To the show.
Man,
so let's go ahead and get them.
They better not say nothing bad about their dad on this show, or it's gonna be on when we get home. Hello? We got them here as Selman Hour. And you are an honorary Selman, as we just discussed off the set in a good moment. But, we talk about balling and getting the call, and here are my children.
Yep. I thought it would take a little longer to get them on, but they've been balling. They've been balling.
So I'm going to let you introduce these people that I know, because I see them and talk to them every day. I need a break.
Panther Nation, it's a love-hate relationship at times with my fellow Selman children. But without further ado, we got Oliver,
What's up?
Sylvia, and Kingston.
What's going on, man?
These people here, my children, are near and dear to my heart. We talked about that. Sometimes they do good things, sometimes they do bad, but it's all love, with them. I know you've known them for a long time. You've been a big part of their lives and their basketball development in a lot of ways. Coached some of them as youngsters. We talked about how you coached Kingston at North, and you've had Sylvia here on your team the last couple of years. But you know, we got him here, Coach, so we might as well talk to him a little bit. So, to my children who are here, you know, what is it like, first of all, and tread lightly when you answer this question, but what's it like being in this place with your dad?
It's a lot. It's pretty cool that we get to do this and be a part of legacy. Pretty cool.
Next.
I like it. You know, it's cool. It's very fun to have my dad at all my games and things of that nature. So I enjoy it for sure.
Yeah, I like when he's still on the bench with us. Unless I'm doing bad, then it's not that fun.
Well, you know, yeah, go ahead.
Or I wasn't done.
Oh, dang.
Or seeing you around in the hallways, you know, messing with you, Euro-stepping you. It's great.
Yeah, well, you know, I get the better of those interactions in the hallway. But you know, it is for me. It's really cool to see my kids out on the court together, sharing the court. You know, last year I never really got to go to Kingston's games because I was doing my thing here and he was at North, and you know, we were kind of moving around and it was hard to get to those games. And so to now see them sharing the court together, him and Oliver, and then Sylvia's there, and then my family's here, and my wife's able to be here. It's a big family reunion for us.
Absolutely.
You know, every game. So it's been a great experience to have all of my kids here.
Yep. So my question to you guys, for having coaching all three of them for a time or two, and I won't give my rankings. We'll save that, Panther Nation. But let's get to Selma kids' ranking basketball rankings.
Like, what you like?
Top to bottom, who we got 1 through 4? We got Luther too.
Luther's
Let's add him.
last.
Okay.
Then me.
Let's keep it. Let's keep it a stat.
I feel like me and Oliver could
Them
play
two
rock,
are
paper,
kind of
scissors.
tied.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at the top. There's no rock paper scissors about it. I'm at the top.
There we go. I was
Kingston
waiting for the
is
confidence.
second.
No,
Well, I don't know. You know,
I let my actions speak for me.
Kingston. You know, his wins total doesn't, show.
Okay.
So I think Sylvie might have to go second, just
I like that.
overall career winnings, and then Kingston probably third.
No, Luther might be. If we're going off that rank,
Career
Luther's
winnings,
third and then Kingston.
Yeah, Kingston.
So
He's
we're
been in a
saying
slump.
Kingston is last. Pretty much is what I'm hearing.
You know, we got practice in about 10 minutes.
Then we will see.
Well, let's talk a little bit about basketball here at TIS. You know, Kingston, this is your first year here at Independent. And let's talk a little bit about your experience here basketball-wise so far. You know, you come from a place that, wasn't a lot of success for you in your first few years playing basketball. And now you're at a place where you're in the number 2 ranked team in the state in 2A. So how does that feel, man?
Man, it feels great. I've never started a season off 3-0 before, or really even won 3 games in 1 year before, for that matter. So it feels great. You know, Coach Kahn last night after we won, he texted me. He said, "We're 3/4 of the way of Kingston's total career win total." I've only won 4 games in my whole career. So
High school.
In high school.
In high school.
And you know, and you had some good moments there.
Yeah.
You know, it was just the situation.
And let's keep in mind that's varsity, because we won some games at the freshman level.
You know, I'm just talking on the V.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
And so, what are you excited about this year? You know, your team's off to a good start, 3-0. You're a senior on a team with a lot of young freshmen. So, how are you exerting yourself as a new player in the rotation and trying to be a leader for our young players out there?
Well, we got a lot of senior leadership. Even though we don't have a lot of seniors, we have a lot of senior leadership. Sarian steps up a lot, Grayson steps up a lot, but me, I try to especially help Oliver out and guide him on the right direction with his high school career and hope that he can win a lot more than me.
Yeah.
But I feel, Yeah, he's almost there.
He almost got it.
But yeah, I feel like we got a very good team. We got a lot of young pieces, and we got a lot of our young pieces that play very mature and play beyond their years. And I'll say that for sure.
Shifting over to the younger Selman brother. You know, I was talking to my dad the other day. Actually, we got back from the game the other night, and my dad said, "Man, them Selman brothers was cooking." I said, "You right, Dad. One cooked in the first half, one cooked in the second half, but collectively they played good and helped the team win." So, Oliver, you're a freshman. You know, you come off a 8th grade season where y'all were, we were CPMSL regular season tournament champs.
16-0.
And I always remind our audience and the world of that every chance I get. But, you know, what is your, you know, progression from 8th grade into 9th grade, and what is the difference you're seeing from middle school to now playing varsity basketball?
Just the maturity about the game. Like last year it was a fun year, but you know it was just kind of just doing stuff. But this year it's a lot more organized. Well, it wasn't organized last year, but this year it's more organized, more mature, and we're having to play more as a team. And we're coming together really well and playing really well.
Watching his play, I gotta say, Kime's a much better coach than me.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
I've never seen him play with that type of speed and just aggression and passion. So, shout out to Kime, because I tried for years.
I heard him say like he dove on the floor for a
Oh
loose
my God,
ball.
I did.
I about left the gym when
I
I
almost
said
did.
that.
Oh my
too.
Lord. And I had to steal. I stole it and then I dove on the floor.
And I've been coaching Oliver since kindergarten.
Right.
And even little kids will dive on the floor in kindergarten.
Not
This
Oliver.
Not this one. So Sylvia,
What's up?
on to the girls team. You know, we got some new players. We got some existing players, and Coach and I have had that conversation. And so, you know, last year you guys had some success. We didn't get the ultimate goal, but what are we looking forward to this year? Like, what are you seeing in our team that excites you about the season?
I think this year we're more like together as a team, and our togetherness is better than it was last year. So I think that'll carry us to where we want to go.
Yeah, and you know, what do you like about playing basketball here at TIS? I mean, is it the coaching? Is it the atmosphere? Is it Panther Nation? You know, what excites you about when you get out there on that court?
I think it's the support we have around with even the boys players, and then the fans, our parents, and like even the boys players will come and watch our games. Like the parents of the boys players will come and watch our game if they have no one there.
Yep, and Coach, you've been coaching her a couple years, right? And so, from year 1 to year 2, what are you noticing about Sylvia Selman, and from year 1 to year 2?
No improvement at all. In all seriousness, the thing that's most exciting to me about her is her care for the game. You know, last year at times you felt like she was just there playing for fun, maybe just as something to do. But this year she asks questions. She's more assertive in what we do. Wins all the sprints at practices, so little things like that is what I look forward to. I know her capabilities on the court. I know she's a decent shooter, but just to see like her care and her want for what we're trying to accomplish this year is what I'm excited about.
Didn't she win the shooting competition for the girls?
Hey, we don't need to bring that up, bro.
But I'm saying she's a shooter. She won the competition.
Oh, I
She can
didn't
shoot.
win.
Oh.
She can shoot.
She can shoot.
And you know, we talked about this, Coach. We talked about this at the game the other night. It's in the DNA.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I was a shooter.
Sure.
Most people will tell you that back in the day, if you ask them about JJ Selman,
Okay.
you know, they'll tell you I could knock it down. And we talked about this because, you know, they knocked some shots down in the game, and I was telling Mr. Davis, it's in their DNA.
Yeah, they got no choice.
It's in the DNA.
Sure.
And so, you know, we expect him, and I expect him to go down there and knock some shots down. So, you know, what legacy do you want to leave here? You know, Kingston, you got 1 year here. Sylvia, you'll have 4 years here. Oliver, you'll have 4 years here. And when it's all said and done, what do you want people to remember you by? What is Panther Nation going to remember you by as far as your legacy here?
Salmon family going to be some winners. You know, I'm trying to win state this year. I want Oliver to win state next year. The year after that, I want Sylvia to win state this year. The year after that, I just want a whole lot of winning.
Very good.
Okay, so,
Anything you got to say?
yeah, I want to leave being a 3-time, 4-time state champion. Leave some banners up so I can come back and tell my kids about how I used to kill him back in the day, just like he does every time we go to Coleman. Any trip. It doesn't even matter what it is. But yeah, I want to leave some legacy here.
You got Luther coming soon. He gonna really be.
Oh man,
You don't know about Luther.
Right on. Sylvia, what legacy do you want to leave here at this place?
You know, start paving the way for the middle school girls that we have coming up and be like this. Last year was a good year for us, and we were successful for the first time in a while. And so, like, starting that trend and then hoping that it keeps going as, like, the middle schools come up.
Very good. Well, it's been fun having my family on here, Coach.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, it's very surreal that we all end up in this place together, and I'm just so proud of my babies. I'm proud of you as a coach to tolerate these three, and my youngest Luther, and you're a caring individual that I truly value as well. So, Panther Nation, you get to meet the Selmans today, and this is a special group to me, and I appreciate you guys for joining us on this show.
for sure.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining us again on the Panther Nation Show with Coach Selman and Coach Garnes, the show that connects you to TIS Athletics. We'll see you back here next week.
Go Big Blue!
Won the coach out of us three.
Keep it a buck.
Luther, I ain't coached him yet.
Or just say hello.
You're supposed to put
We're gonna talk about basketball, okay? We're gonna talk about life as a Selman, you know, stuff like that. And so we just gonna have a Selman moment.
Why are you here?
Selman's on 3.
What?
That's our cousin.
My honorary son.
He's an honorary Selman. You got that on tape?
I did. I got the whole thing.